Welcome to Write Channels. I am Benjamin. Today's video is on how to start off as a content writer. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. You will find a red button tagged subscribe. Just click on that button and that is all that is required. What this implies is that you will have access to all free access, for that matter, to all the videos uploaded on this channel. And if you click on the bell icon, you will receive regular notifications when new videos are uploaded. So let's dive into the lecture right away. What makes one a content writer? You might be wondering, what exactly does it take to become a content writer? Well, you should not look at it as a big deal. It doesn't really take much to become a content writer. To become a content writer, you do not need a specific academic qualification or experience. You don't need a university degree. You don't need a master's or a doctorate. You just need basic things, two basic things, And what are these two basic things that you need? Number one, the ability to communicate your ideas in good English. If you have a good command of the English language, if you can express your ideas with clarity, then that is one of the basic things you need to become a content writer. Number two, the willingness to conduct research. And simply put, it is just the willingness to learn. The people we call experts today were novices like us yesterday. What separates the expert from the novice is the willingness to learn and the belief that it is possible. So every skill is learnable, including the content writing skill. Where there is a will, there is a way. If you are willing to research into the possibility of becoming an exceptional content writer, it is possible. So these two basic things, the ability to communicate your ideas in good English and the willingness to conduct research, these are the two basic things you need. What exactly is content writing? This is a very important question. The term content writing is made up of two key words, content and writing. So let's begin by analyzing content. Content refers to your ideas contained in a piece of writing, a video clip, and so forth. So content writing is basically the act of expressing your ideas in a piece of writing. And this can be done in various forms, produced in various formats, and presented on various platforms. For instance, we can talk about at least 4 basic forms of content, and these agree with the 4 basic forms of writing. The narrative form, the descriptive form, the expository form, and the persuasive form. The video you are watching right now is the expository form of content, because it is the kind of content that explains an idea or a process. In this video, I am explaining to you how to start off as a content writer. So content that explains how to do something or how something works is the expository form, and a lot of people are even earning money online by simply explaining how to bake a cake, how to cook their favorite meals, and so on and so forth. If you have a skill that you can explain, then the expository form of content writing comes into play. Then you have the descriptive form, which shows the features of something. You can use this to show the various features of a product or something, or an idea you want people to buy into, or to showcase the qualities of something you want to present to a target audience. That's the descriptive form. It makes use of the descriptive mode, using the sensual words, words that create a picture, words that create images, words that use the appeal to the five senses, So content created in order to show, to show exactly what something looks like, or even to exhibit the qualities of something or the values of something, the advantages, and so on and so forth. That's the descriptive form of content writing. Then you have the narrative form, which is the storytelling type of content writing. If you remember, a very notable American philosopher of personal achievement known as Napoleon Hill, he used the storytelling or narrative method in his best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich. And that book made him a multi-millionaire. And even after his demise, his descendants still earn passive income from that effort. That is how powerful the storytelling form of content writing can be. A lot of people have used the storytelling form to tell their success story, how they became self-made millionaires, how they were able to write a book and publish it, how they did this, how they did that, and that actually is the kind of content a lot of people are looking for, because everyone wants to learn the winning formula. And some people, on the other hand, have used the same storytelling form to share their ugly experience, their painful past. For example, you at one point or the other you were brought to point zero by a very dangerous addiction. You were addicted to drugs, for example, which nearly destroyed your life, which nearly ruined your life. Somehow you were able to overcome this very serious and dangerous addiction, and you now survived it, and you are telling your story as a survivor, as someone who overcame this thing. Of course, a lot of people are looking for this kind of story because it will strengthen their belief. It will deepen their belief that it is possible for them to liberate themselves from the shackles and bondage of this addiction. And because someone is telling a story of how they overcame, that becomes a very big solution to people who are still passing through the same problem. So the storytelling, the narrative form of content, is very powerful. Then you have the persuasive form, and that actually is the type of tool that politicians use. They use a lot of rhetoric, they want to convince you, they want to persuade you, and at the end of the day, they really manipulate you into voting them into power. That's what politicians use, all right? The persuasive form. When people go for presidential debates, they need the persuasive form of content to try and win the debate, all right? And convince their audience that they are the right candidate for that office they are vying for. And you can use this not just on political rallies, but even in trying to project your ideas and market and promote your products. You know, whenever you come with a powerful argument, it always gives you success. It wins you people's patronage, and it drives traffic to your platform because you have this persuasive power, the power to persuade, very central to achieving success in every field. So content writing is the act of expressing your ideas in a piece of writing, which can be done in various forms, produced in various formats, and presented on various platforms. All right, we shall be looking at formats and platforms as aspects of content creation, because when you create content, you need to produce your content, package it in a particular format. Will it be a book, an ebook, or paperback? Will you present it as a podcast or as MP4? Are you bringing a video clip to the table, or are you packaging a video course, or are you organizing an online seminar or webinar? All right, so there must be a format, and then there must be a platform on which you present your content at the end of the day. All right, we shall be looking at all this, but now we have looked at content writing, what it is exactly. But before we wrap up this particular subtopic, I want you to know that everything you find online, everything on the internet, it could be an article, a video, a social media post, a web site article, a blog post, an advertisement, or just a product description. You know, whatever it is that you find online has something to do with content writing, because it is all about content. You know, even the very thing you find on YouTube, on Google, on social media, you know, there are various forms of content. All right, so that is really how all-encompassing content writing can be, and I want to expand your knowledge of content writing for you to really appreciate the importance of content writing. Now let's look at basic steps to take in content writing. At this particular beginner stage, there are steps you need to begin to take if you really have deep interest in going into content writing or content creation. Of course, if you have the desire to set up an online business, whether it is a blog or a website or an e-commerce store, whatever business you want to begin online, or probably you create some digital products and you just want to market them by promoting them on social media platforms. Of course, you need content writing, and these basic steps will enable you to begin to take content writing as something that will be an ally in your desire to succeed in your online business. So let's look at the basic steps you need to take. Step number 1 is to develop your writing skills through reading and training. And I want to emphasize here that when we talk about writing skills, we are not saying that you will necessarily be a professional writer. No. Writing is a necessary skill. Sometimes you may find the need to write an email, send an email, even for business purposes, and that requires writing skill. Even to send a text message, all right? If you are sending a text message to an organization that has the capacity to decide whether you win a contract or not, then that text message needs to be written in a proper manner. If you are looking for a job, you might be required to submit your application with your CV, and these things need to be written. If you are required to write a letter, maybe if you are still, pursuing your academic laurels, you are still furthering your education, and you might be sitting for exams at one point or the other, you need your writing skills. If you are working in an organization, you might be called upon to submit a report. So writing is something that is a skill everyone needs to develop, and there are a lot of people who really have writing difficulties. Whenever they sit down and they want to write something, they get lost. They don't know what to write, and they don't know where to begin. I uploaded a video recently on the topic how to improve your writing skills. This video will help you to overcome your writing difficulties. I have also uploaded another video that is on the topic 8 laws of content creation. 8 laws of content creation. And this will also help you in developing your writing skills. So, developing your writing skills is really something you need to do. You can do this by reading, and by training. You can get in touch with someone who is a professional content writer and let the person coach you, or you can attend writing seminars, all right? And of course, there are a lot of opportunities that will enable you to develop your writing skills. That you are watching this video right now confirms the desire in you to develop your writing skills. And this is also one way of trying to develop your writing skills, because this audiovisual, lectures, these video lectures have a way of showing you very clearly how to do something, and that is a very effective way of developing your writing skills. Number 2 is research. You need to research in order to know your topic inside out. Research has to do with, getting to know something more clearly. Research has to do with embarking on a journey whose aim is to discover, you want to discover a solution to a problem, or you want to discover ideas that will help you in a particular field of study or the other, and that is research. All the products and services that people consume right now are products of research. People conducted research and they were able to invent ideas which they turned into products and services. So that is the importance of research. anything you don't know, research is the tool to take you from the unknown to the known. I mean, to take you from the known to the unknown. All right, what you don't know at all, research can take you to the unknown. You discover the things you do not know. So it is a very powerful tool, and if you conduct research into whatever topic you really want to create, then that will make you an expert on that topic, because research ensures that you lay your hands on the key ideas, in that particular subject, and that will make you an authority in that. So research is key. That is a powerful step you need to take if you want to become a content writer. Develop the habit of conducting research. And research is not only about researching into a given topic or the other, but if you are to create content, you also want to make sure that the content you are creating has a market for it. And so market research is a branch of research, and when you conduct a market research, you are asking questions and you are looking for answers as to whether there is a demand for the product you want to bring into the market, because it doesn't make sense to create content and bring it into the marketplace only to discover that there is no demand for it. So that will result in a huge waste of time, money, and energy. So research is key. The third step is knowing your audience. You need to identify the needs of your target audience, because if you are to become a content writer, you really need to pick the niche. You need to decide, your area of specialization. But whatever area of specialization you want to choose to really delve into, you need to be sure that you have the right audience for it. You need to ensure that the kind of content you want to create will appeal to your target audience. In the video I earlier referred to, 8 laws of content creation, one of the laws is audience appeal. You need to ensure that whatever content you are creating will meet the needs of your target audience. Your content must meet a specific customer need. Your content should be capable of solving your audience's specific problem, because that's the only thing that will make them buy into your idea. They won't spend their time and give you their attention if your content is not going to solve a problem for them. If your content is not going to meet their need, of course they won't give you their patronage. So identify the needs of your target audience, and this is really very, very critical to success in content writing and content creation as a whole. Number 4 is purpose. Identify your purpose, because in creation everything serves a definite purpose. And so if you are going to become a successful content writer, you need to identify your purpose, and your purpose could be to drive traffic to your website, to drive traffic to your online platform, your e-commerce store, or your social media platform, as the case may be. Well, these should be secondary purposes. If you really want to succeed as a content writer or a content creator, you should identify a definite purpose, and your purpose should be based on really what we have discussed before, the needs of your audience. Your purpose should be to serve your audience, because the pathway to greatness is service. One of the worst mistakes you can make as a content writer is to create content just because it is something you like. Of course, it's part of it. You should be passionate about what you are doing, but that is not enough. If it is only about you, then of course your content will fail, and in fact you won't be able to attract a large audience for your content. Now, for your content to be meaningful, worthwhile, and attention grabbing, it has to be a problem solving kind of content. And so this brings us to the real noble purpose for creating content, and that is to solve other people's problems. Because if you want to get paid in the marketplace, and the entire globe is a marketplace, all right? Now, it is an economic law that the person who really gets paid is the one who brings value into the marketplace. So your purpose as a content writer should be to add value to other people's lives, to create the kind of content that will solve people's problems. And that is why we talked about research. You need to conduct a research and find out what people really want. We shall get into some other details that will help us identify, the actual way to find out what our target audience needs. All right, but you should have this definite purpose to solve other people's problem, because when your purpose is to solve other people's problem, then of course you will succeed in whatever you are doing, not only in content writing but also in all other fields or all other careers. All right, so identify your purpose. All right, number 5, keywords. Identify and verify the appropriate keywords for your content, and this point is subsidiary to the identifying your purpose that we earlier mentioned, because we have already agreed, we have reached a conclusion that a noble purpose for writing content is to solve other people's problem. And once this is the purpose, then you need the keywords, because when people are searching for content on Google, on YouTube, on social media, on all parts of the internet, they are typing in the type of words that are related to the kind of needs they have, the kinds of problem they want to solve. And so it is through these keywords you identify the needs of your audience, because keywords are also related to what is known as SEO, search engine optimization, all right, which is a very key aspect of digital marketing, content creation, content marketing, internet marketing, and so on. So identify and verify the appropriate keywords for your content. That's very important. Then step number 6, let's try to step up our discussion, because we are looking at a 12-point agenda. We are looking at 12 steps, that you need to really take. 12 key things you need to know that will help you to start off as a successful content writer. Number 6 is organization. You need to learn to organize your content into related units such as heading, subheading, and so on. Organization has to do with organizing something into a definite structure, and a structure is anything that is made up of parts. Now, in writing, we always identify key parts of every piece of writing. You have the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And of course, depending on the various forms of writing, you have some starting off with an address or addresses, such as a letter, personal, formal or informal. Then you have some contents beginning with a title or headline, such as an article, an essay, a blog post, and so on and so forth. So your ability to organize your content into the right format, all right, is really very important. And even the body of your content should have headings and subheadings. This will simplify the process for the reader. So content that is well organized always appears very attractive to readers. So your ability to organize your content into related units is of central importance to your achieving success as a content writer. So then let's move on. Number 7, expression. Learn to use correct words. No one wants to read bad English. This is really interesting. When we are talking about expression, we are simply talking about your ability to express your ideas using correct words and phrases and sentences. All right? So this is really very important, and this is why you need to develop your writing skills, so you'll be able to express your ideas correctly. And then if you refer to the video I uploaded recently, how to improve your writing skills, you will discover that I discussed a very effective writing system, which I call the BOA system. It takes you through a process that will help you to overcome your writing difficulties and also enable you to really produce a qualitative form of writing or piece of writing. So it is very important. Expression is key, and you need to actually eliminate grammatical errors and anything that really makes your content substandard. You need to eliminate it, because just a piece of bad English or some grammatical errors can drive people away from your website or your blog. All right, if you really come up with grammatically wrong forms of writing or pieces of writing in your blog or platform, this can offend the sensibilities of your target audience and may even lead to their immediate withdrawal from your platform. So it's really very important for you to learn to express your words correctly. Again, you discover that what Jonathan Swift defined register as is also critical to expression. Jonathan Swift is a notable English scholar. He defined register as putting proper words in proper places, and that is really what it means to express your ideas correctly. Learning to choose the right words for the right form of writing is really very, very important. Number 8 is originality of ideas. All right, because I don't subscribe to the idea or habit of copying other people's ideas and pasting them and pretending that these are your pieces of writing. Because when you do that, you are actually violating some laws, the law against plagiarism or copyright infringement. You don't want to be sued by people whose works you may have taken without their knowledge and permission. Alright, so originality of ideas is very important. You need to ensure that the idea you are presenting in your content is unique and is something that has been created by you. And because when you come up with original ideas, then you can discuss them, you can express them, you can talk about them authoritatively. And because your content has this authenticity, it has authority, because you can sound authoritative, is something that you originated and is something that you can discuss even when you are waking up from sleep. Of course, that gives you the authority to discuss and project your ideas in a very convincing manner, and that gives your content that stamp of authenticity that will make it appealing to the audience, and that will win you more patronage because of originality of ideas. When ideas are really yours, that you originated, that you conceived, of course when you discuss them, your ideas will flow naturally like water from its source, and that makes your content interesting and appealing to your target audience. So originality of ideas is really very important. But then how do you come up with original ideas? It starts with brainstorming. Alright, so if you watch that video on how to improve your writing skill, you know, BOA system of writing is about brainstorm. You brainstorm, all right, and then you outline, you write, you edit, you review. That is BOA. You know, B stands for brainstorm, O stands for outline, W stands for write, E stands for edit, and R stands for review. If you watch the video, you will discover really that it is a very, very useful tool that you need to overcome your writing difficulties. It will also help you to achieve originality of ideas in your content writing. Number 9 is editing. Learn to edit your content thoroughly to avoid errors. Alright? That's really very important. Editing is very important. It's part of the writing process. Don't just submit your content, you know, without caring whether it is really up to standard or not. No, if you want to be a content writer, you need to have an eye for details, and you need to have real commitment to excellence. You want to come up with the right quality, and this is why you need to edit and you need to review as well, to ensure that your piece of writing is up to date and is up to the standard that you really want to give to your target audience. Number 10 is about forms and formats. You know, when I was talking about what exactly is content writing, I really gave these concepts some mention. We talked about the forms already, the various forms of content. We have discussed them: the descriptive, the expository, the narrative, which is the storytelling form, and then the persuasive. We already talked about them. The formats have to do with the how you want your audience to receive the information you are giving to them. If you want them to read it, then you have to come with the printed formats, such as the paperback books that the printing press will roll out. I have 8 books in printed forms that are being used as reading text in various schools in my country. That is the printed form. Then I also have ebooks that I have published on Amazon, on Lulu, on Payhip. All right, about 16 different ebooks that I have written and published. Now you choose your formats, and you can choose different types of formats. Like I have mentioned 2 formats. I also have video lessons like the one you are watching right now. I create content and I turn them into video clips. I also create video courses like the one I have published on Udemy and the one I'm working on right now on Thinkific and some other platforms. All right. Then you can also present your content in form of in audio formats, and that means you can come up with audio lectures, audio books. If you have an ebook already published, you can turn your ebook into audio books. There are various platforms where you can do this. They give you free software. I have already done a video on how to create and sell your own ebooks, and I have even specifically explained how the process of creating and publishing and selling your ebooks on a particular platform. So if you watch through the various titles I have on this channel, you will find how to create and sell your own ebooks. That video will explain to you the process if you want to create ebooks. The ebook becomes the format. It presents your content in an electronic format, because ebook simply means electronic book. All right. Then these are various formats. Then of course you need to choose the forms and the formats in which to produce your content. That's exactly what we have been talking about. Number 11, platforms. You choose your platforms on which to present your content. All right. There are different platforms. You have the social media platforms. A lot of people are using social media platforms as platforms on which to promote and market their digital products. All right. Then you have other platforms, affiliate programs. Then you have online publishing platforms like Amazon. You have Fiverr. You have Upwork. You have Udemy for those who want to create video courses, and you have different platforms online and offline on which you can present your content, like the 8 paperback books that I have published. The various schools become a platform. Then you have different bookshops. You have bookshops online. You have bookshops offline. Those are platforms where you can present your content, promote and market your content, and earn money for your efforts. So that is also one step you need to take. Choose your platforms on which to present your content. Number 12, the last but the greatest, I dare say, because here we are talking about action. No matter how long it takes you to prepare, what really makes the difference is that first step. You know that old saying that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step is still valid today. So that is what makes action the greatest of all the steps we have discussed so far, because there are many people who have actually conceived very laudable ideas, who have had big dreams, who have really developed very, very wonderful plans of action, but they never got to take the action required to really turn their ideas into products. In one of my books titled The Secrets for Digitizing and Monetizing Your Content Writing Skills, I did say in that particular ebook that no matter how wonderful your talents and skills could be, and no matter the dazzling opportunities you have and all the big ideas you may have conceived, you cannot translate all those things into the financial freedom you desire until you take two critical steps. Number one, turn your ideas into products or services, and number two, begin to promote and market your products and services to other people in order to earn money. So it is all about action. All right? And unless you take action, every other thing you have done is really nothing. It won't produce any results, because results are the products of actions. Results are not the products of any kind of thought or suggestions. It is often said that if wishes were horses, then beggars might ride. Unfortunately, wishes can never become horses for any beggar to ride upon. So actions are the real forerunners of solid personal achievements. So I want to impress it upon you that you need to take action, because there are a lot of people who have come up with very wonderful ideas, but they never got to take action. Somewhere along the line, they see someone who has started doing something with that same idea they conceived, and they regret and say, oh, if I had known, I would have taken action. Look at this guy, he's doing something about this and it's really going for him. So you can see that action is really the most important step to take in everything. And there are a lot of barriers that you must overcome if you have to take the much needed first step. The first barrier is fear of the unknown. And fear breeds excuses. Oh, I don't have the capital to start. I don't have this to start. I don't have enough knowledge. I didn't go to the university and all that. I want you to know that even if someone graduated from Oxford or from Harvard or from the best university in this world, merely graduating from a university or an institution doesn't make anyone an expert. At the end of the day, it boils down to action or practice. Practice makes perfect. And what separates the expert from the beginner or the intermediate is the amount of practice. When you practice what you are doing to a particular point, then you learn it so well that you become an expert in it. Now take someone who has learned to drive, for instance. At the initial stage, you discover that the difficulties are very great, but with practice, all those things that were mountains to climb now becomes so easy. It gets to a point where you can drive and even chat with people without even paying attention to what you are doing. You can do it almost like the involuntary muscle. And the same thing is applicable to those who have learned how to play musical instruments. When you start off, it's an uphill task. It's a Herculean task. It seems impossible. But with practice, the process becomes simplified, more simplified. And with more and more practice, you discover that everything becomes so simple that you can be playing the musical instrument and be singing along at the same time, and your instrumentation will be in sync with your singing. It comes with practice. So action is really the most important step to take in this process. And this is where we draw the curtain in today's video. We have really been talking about, how to start off as a content writer. I hope you have gained a lot from this video. If you have any comments as to how I can improve the quality of my lectures, don't hesitate to leave your comments below. If you have any suggestions as to how I can the next topic you might want to watch, leave your comments as well. See you in the next video, and bye bye for now.